Good morning. I'd like to thank everybody for coming and being here today. What I'm going to show you all is a presentation regarding the work environment that you guys already work in. Many of you guys know me personally, but my name is Eleazar Hernandez. I'm actually going to be showing y'all and introducing to you all the new rework process that we have in place that we're going to start amid all this coronavirus and everything that's been going on. It's backed us up just a little bit, but we are going to make sure that we roll this out once it comes time and once we gain the work again. Again, my name is Eleazar Hernandez. Everybody should have got a copy of the presentation. You are free to write on the copy of the presentation as you please. If you would like, you can even write down any questions that you guys might have. And at the very end of this, we'll actually be answering any kind of questions, going over anything that you guys might have had any questions over, might have not understood so well. Again, my name is Eleazar Hernandez. Thank you for being here today. Who am I? Again, I'm Eleazar Hernandez. I am a graduate student at the University of North Texas. I was just like you guys. I was an assembly line worker in the anti-reflector department for about 4 years. At the moment, I'm the continuous improvement manager. So I'm just finding out new ways and new styles that you guys can do and perform the way that you guys work and make it better for, obviously, for you guys, for the clients, and for the company. All right, so the purpose of the presentation is to introduce the AR department, which is all of you guys, including the managers and the staff, with the new rework process. This new rework process, what it's gonna do is it's gonna actually help us get our work out better with a better yield and actually get it out faster to the customers. When we sometimes have an issue where we can restart a job where maybe somebody dropped it, scratched it, any kind of purpose like that, we can actually restart that job from the process where it's at rather than start it all the way from the beginning. As we know, sometimes we have customers that are in the Army, sometimes customers that are doctors that need their glasses immediately, that don't have time to be waiting for other companies to make their players or coming from overseas. So we at Walmart, we try to provide this within about 3 to 4 days. We try to provide the customer with their lenses back. We do have 3 laboratories across the United States, and those 3 laboratories take care of all the Walmarts in the United States. So we're pretty fast at what we do, and we like to keep it that way. All right, so introducing the new Traveler, the rework Traveler. As you guys are accustomed to, we always have Travelers that are carried with the jobs. They tell us what jobs, who they belong to, what store they go to. They tell us all the information that we know. And this Traveler in particular has to stay with that job and never get separated from that job. What we're introducing with this new rework process is a brand new Traveler. And the actual Travelers, they'll have the train numbers on them. They'll have the bar numbers. You'll get to put who sorted it, who prepped it, who loaded the optimal, who unloaded the optimal, how long it needs to be in the oven for. It gives us all the information that we could possibly need and make sure that we provide it on that Traveler. That way, whenever we have a job that restarts and that needs to be reworked, sometimes it can get lost in the process because the job's already been processed. It needs to be canceled out of the system and then restarted again. This will actually help us in case somebody forgets to cancel out of the system or in case somebody forgets to cancel it. This will actually help us provide the customer with the exact location that their lenses are. So if the customer, somebody from the Walmart opticals calls and says, hey, this customer is just wondering where the lenses are at, how much longer it'll be, this will actually help us find that job and be able to give them a precise amount of time and how much longer their lenses will get back to them at that store, whether it be 2 or 3 days. All right, so at the very top of the Travelers, what we always want to verify is the bar number and the train number, that they're always written correctly. These 2 numbers are very important because these 2 numbers will guide the job the rest of its way. So as long as we know the train number, we're able to find all the jobs that are on that train number, whether it be 5600, 5607, 5688. And now the bar number, that's important as well, simply because when the associate places those lenses on the bar, everybody needs to make sure that the bar number matches the Traveler because that's going to keep it intact when it has to go to inspection. All right, now what you want to do is you want to verify the associate number, and the number of lenses is always placed correctly on the traveler. So whenever somebody sorts it, you're actually going to put your associate number, and everybody in this building has an associate number. It's a 3-digit number. Mine's personally is 340, but everybody in this building has an associate number, and that number is going to go right there. Now, whenever you get the lenses, they can always be mixed up, but normally you want to put about the size that it is, whether it's a 65, 70, or 75, as far as the lenses sizes. And you always want to count the number of lenses that go on the bar, because that's very important. Sometimes lenses fall, sometimes bars crash in the machine, sometimes different things happen. Obviously, mechanical problems. So as long as we know how many lenses are on that bar, we're able to pick up the lenses, place them right back on there, and continue the process. If the number of lenses is written incorrectly, then sometimes that can cause confusion. All right, all reworked lenses need to be seated correctly on the ring holder. And as everybody in the building has a ring in front of them, everybody has lenses in front of them, along with your packet. But we're going to go over, once we go into practice after this training, we're actually going to go onto the production floor, and we're actually going to try to rig up all the lenses, locate the bar numbers, write the travelers, do all of that. That way you guys can get the practice and get the hang of it. Me coming from the assembly line, I can honestly tell you guys that it's not that hard, but there are going to be questions, and that's what I'm here for. That's what the managers are here for. That's what the packets are here for, in case you guys have any kind of questions. Just one thing to keep in mind, that a wrongly seated lens, when you place it on the bar and it's wrongly seated on there, what that can cause is that can cause a crash in the USC 200, which is the machine where the lenses are loaded into, and that's what does the coding. That'll cause crashes in there. Sometimes that'll cause mix-ups. When we have mix-ups, sometimes it's hard to find, or even though each lens should have a RX number on it, that makes it sometimes hard to find. So it's very, very important that we place the lenses correctly on the jigs. Placing the ring holder with the reworked lens in the bar with the bigger side facing to the right. So what you want to do whenever you're loading the machine, you're actually loading it into the machine, is this is not how you want your jigs to be standing, but like this. And there's actually a curve on the actual jig that tells you this is as far as I want to go. Once it reaches that point, it makes it very difficult to actually go further. So this will actually be very hard to accomplish, but it is possible, and some people force it. We don't want to do that. And this ultimately, this is what the ring should look like once it's on there. Now, whenever we load the bar into the USC 200, the bar itself, obviously, it's like a long, straight piece of metal, and it's going to have a circle on one side. It's going to have it flat on the other side. So the side that has a circle on it, you guys always want to make sure that you load the bar with the circle to your right-handed side. So on your right-hand side, that bar needs to be loaded that way. In particular, it normally doesn't cause any issues, but when a bar is fully loaded and fully complete, then it can cause space issues down the line in the machine, and that can ultimately cause a crash, and that's where things will happen. Make sure that the hole on the bar is always facing to the right. That's exactly what I was talking about. And you can actually see right here the little hole, and we're actually going to, each of you guys has a bar in front of you guys, but you can actually see, if you hold the bar on the right hand side, that has a little bitty hole, and that side's always going to be loaded on the right hand side, just to make it clear for everybody. All right, so on the back of the new Travelers, where you will write all the rework information, it gives you the jig location. So we know that on a bar we have 20 lenses, the first 10, the second 10. And this basically makes all 20. The original Traveler and the original bar number. And this is going to be very, very important for everybody here. We will fill it out together, but we'll make sure that it's all complete. Now, whenever you receive a lens, you say you get the bar, and you're taking one lens out. This lens has a scratch on it. It does not look good. It's not going to pass FDA. It's not going to pass anything. What you want to do is you want to place a little dab, whether it's the first 10 or the second 10. Obviously, this will be on the first 10, which would be A. You want to place a little dab where exactly on the location you took that lens out. That way the next person knows, okay, there's going to be one missing here. And obviously, like I said, at the bottom, you're going to enter the original traveler number, and you're going to enter the original bar number. And that's simply because we want to make sure that all of the information on there is correct. And this is actually going to get tied back to all the other works that were on that you didn't take out. That way it can match with everything at the very end. All right, so now whenever we actually go to the machine, we have our bar complete. We have all lenses jigged up properly. We have the bar facing the right-hand side. We place it into the machine. Now, once we place it into the machine, does anybody know what the next thing is? All right, so the next step would actually be selecting the recipe. And what you want to do is you want to select the correct recipe. When you select the incorrect recipe, then at that point we can have a problem. But as long as you're selecting the correct recipe, that makes it all worthwhile. So we all know that we're used to seeing the wash, the F14 dip, and the F14U processes on the screen. What we introduce now is that rework step right here. And whenever you get one of these bars with all these rework lenses on it, or just one lens or just two lenses, you're going to make sure that you select the rework recipe. If you don't select the rework recipe, what can happen sometimes is the bars will go into certain tanks that they're not supposed to, and then that can cause contamination. When we have contamination, you guys know that. Does anybody know how long a contamination would stop production for? 12 hours. Contamination would stop production for 12 hours, which is an entire shift. And we do have 2 shifts running. The machine is 24 hours a day, so imagine half of your production is lost for that day for that machine. We only have 2 machines. Imagine if somebody accidentally selects the wrong recipe on one machine on one shift, and maybe on the other shift somebody else selects the wrong recipe. So it's very, very important to make sure you always select the correct recipe in case something happens. You can always catch it in time and know exactly where it went. Again, if another recipe is selected by accident, that will cause contamination and that will cause the lenses to be broken. So in the whole time that what we're trying to do is we're trying to rework lenses and trying to save lenses, if we select the wrong recipe, that's actually going to eliminate everything that we've just done. So does everybody in here know how to use the selection on the recipe? Just in case you don't, you select the recipe that you want to use and then you hit the enter. And once it actually shows up on the current process, that means that that's what's selected on there. So it's very, very easy. And again, we're going to go over this once we're finished with the presentation. We're actually going to go on this onto the floor, and we're actually going to try all of this. We're going to make sure that we do and everybody gets it and understands it. Just to summarize, I mean, everything. This is a brand new rework process. We understand that you guys are going to have trouble and questions and stuff like that. We hope you guys don't have too much trouble, but in case you do, that's what we're here for. We have 2 managers that are here. They can answer any of your questions. I'm actually going to be hanging out with you guys for the next couple of weeks. And like I said, if you guys wrote down any questions or anything, we're about to answer them. Filling out the new traveler is obviously very, very important. Loading the machine, very important. And then selecting the correct recipe. If we don't follow all of these together, then that's really going to hinder what we're trying to do as far as save lenses and make glasses for our customers better, faster, stronger. And always want to just remember who's important. Obviously, you guys are always important. We want to make sure you guys take care of yourselves. Make sure you guys know everything. If you guys have any questions, you guys need to come and ask. Just come to me.